Tahniah kita ucapkan kepada Kerajaan Sabah dan juga Kerajaan Persekutuan atas pelancaran Projek Fasa Pertama Esteel. Ia akan memberikan manfaat kedua buah pentadbiran ini, khususnya Sabah dan juga rakyat Sabah, termasuklah peluang pekerjaan dan sebagainya. Jadi sahabat semua, tanpa membuang masa, ayo kita tonton bersama sesi pelancaran ini.
Kita rasa bangga kerana kita dapat menyaksikan satu bentuk pelaburan baru yang besar, dan ini dimungkinkan kerana sistem politik negara yang stabil yang menyebabkan ada keyakinan. Dan kedua, kena ada dasar yang menggalakkan pelaburan, yang memberikan insentif yang menjadikan Malaysia dan Sabah menarik untuk meyakini pelabur dalam dan luar negara. Dan ketiga, cabaran yang sangat penting ialah cara kita dari menteri-menterinya, setiausaha Kerajaan Negerinya, dan penjawat awam keseluruhannya dan pembandaran menjalankan dengan cekap dan telus untuk meyakinkan pelabur bahawa tidak ada satu kerana birokrasi yang menghalang dan menghambat kepesatan pelaksanaan projek. So I extend my profound and sincere appreciation to Esteel Enterprise for its decision and commitment to invest in Sabah, and in the process, of course, showcase their confidence in the stability of the political system, clarity of policies, precisely economic policies, and the effective execution in terms of approvals of the project at the ground level. I mean, these are the three criteria that is considered a precondition to ensure that a country succeeds. We are living in a very competitive environment. We are facing, for example, the unprecedented and also unanticipated tariff announced by President Donald Trump. But let us view this positively. Number one, of course, we have to continue negotiations because the United States remain one of the important investors into Malaysia. Cumulatively, it has the highest investment into Malaysia, and we continue to have good relations with the United States. Admiral Samuel of the 10th Fleet met me yesterday, Kerajaan, and tomorrow Secretary of Defense of the United States have requested for a meeting with me in Singapore, whilst I was asked by Prime Minister Lawrence Wong to address the Singapore Shangri-La dialogue, which means we continue to maintain good relations because we are a trading nation. Our meeting minister, Tengku Zafrul, and the team went to the United States to negotiate, explain our case. Then we had an engagement with all ASEAN countries to take a common position. And together with Korea, Japan, and China, to support the position for Malaysia to remain steadfast, supporting multilateral trading system, and to reject any unilateral actions. Notwithstanding, the solution should be negotiations while affirming the principles of fair, rule-based, multilateral trading arrangements. At the same time, we in ASEAN has gone further. And I was thank all the ministries, officers, the private sector, the hotels, the workers, the drivers who made that possible. The successful ASEAN summit last few days. And this is gives a lot of satisfaction, alhamdulillah, that Malaysia can showcase its ability to organize an international conference not only efficiently and successfully, but in terms of substantive decisions, we could register something phenomenal in the history of ASEAN. So I wish them, say thank you to all those who supported the venture. At the same time, this is again the first time when ASEAN was able to attract the richest Arab countries, the GCC, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, UAE, Qatar, Oman, to come to Kuala Lumpur and committed to having this synergy of collaboration in terms of trade, investments, and diplomatic relations, to cement their relations by focusing on economic advancement, in energy transition, in digital transformation and artificial intelligence, and of course, food security, food technology. And it, again, is the first time in ASEAN that we could do it. And following that, there's ASEAN, GCC, and China. Last month, we received President Xi Jinping, who gave his support and commitment for enhanced, comprehensive strategic partnership with Malaysia. And this week, we had Premier Li Qiang, who's become a personal friend of mine, who came and represented China in a discussion with ASEAN and GCC. That is why I always remind and reiterate this point to our friends, including now in Sabah, that the political stability, relations and respect for all communities, that after all, Allah has exalted the children of Adam. You made it into tribes and race and creed, not to sow discord, but to establish that human respect and trust, to know and appreciate one another, according to the Quranic term, لِتَعَارَفُوا. This is essential. And those of us, be it Prime Minister or Ministers, Chief Minister, who are entrusted the authority and amana for leadership, must use this to introduce with clarity policies that will benefit the people through good governance and clarity of policies that will be able to attract investments domestically and foreign direct investments. And for those of you who are entrusted as officers at all levels, must do it efficiently. We don't compare to the weakest of nations. We don't compare to countries with poor growth. We compare to the best. And there's no reason why Sabah or Malaysia cannot aim for the best. And the best means leaders with conviction, tenacity of purpose, with discipline, good governance, clarity of policies, and love and affection for their people in the state and in the federation. The federal government remains fully committed in supporting initiative by the state. This includes what is considered our priority according to the ESG of the UN Sustainable Goals. What more, Esteel has an added attraction. It's green technology. It's committed to training. I was discussing with the chairman, and I said the focus must be now train our young Sabahans. Yeah. In universities, in Tibet institutions, and the state and the federal agencies should be more flexible. Allow them to enter these Tibets. Take over some of these programs and train them now so that when they graduate with the certificate, it need not be a formal certificate by the ministry. It may be a certificate by the company. And coming from Esteel is as good or at times better than some of our departments. Let them handle the training. Let them make sure that the training meets the standards and more so the requirements of that particular industry. If they want 200 people from a particular Tibet or university to work in the company or in the industry, let them train now, so that there will not be a mismatch between what is being trained by the research center and what is required by the industry. So that's why we are given that flexibility. In Kulim High Tech, in Johor, Singapore Economic Zone, in Lemah Kelang, we have told the industries and the universities, colleges, to work a tandem, collaborate, to ensure that the training meets the requirement of the industry. I mentioned to the chairman, get your staff, go to a particular institution in KK or Sipitang or whatever, and recommend this. And I must remind the ministries, no compromise. Don't give, some bureaucratic, technical rules. You think about the future of your students, and they will be better served if the industry train these people for their requirements. If they need to descend to either Kuala Lumpur or China, then come back as qualified engineers or technicians to get it done, and no excuses will be accepted. That's what we mean by inclusive growth. What the ASEAN Malaysian strategy in the ASEAN 2025. Inclusivity. We take everybody. That's why I'm this gear. Out of respect for keamatan this year. This is the separate program. But to me, I told Chief Minister Haji Ji, that I come all the way and was given this honor. And I think there's no harm to introduce. That's what we mean by inclusivity, by respect. By Madani means you respect. And you show appreciation. That is precisely the reason why I think that we need to continue to encourage this spirit. Don't listen. You can listen. Don't entertain. Some of these people desperate. They only talk about divisions, negative. That is a problem, psychological problem. They pick on small issues. We look at it. Look at Malaysia today. Look at how ASEAN gives us the respect. Look at how a GCC countries, the Emir of Qatar, the Prime Minister, Crown Prince of Kuwait, and the rest, come all the way. Just to showcase that they are willing to be in Malaysia, collaborate with ASEAN, invest in this country, have confidence in our policies. Look at China. Can you imagine? Any other country where last month the president comes and now this week the premier. I mean, Malaysia is a relatively small emerging economy. We are able to attract because they say because no, not because of Anwar or because of Chief Minister. No, because we are a people united, peaceful, and focused on economic advancement and welfare of our people. That is precisely the reason. So, in ensuring the success of Esteel, Mr. Chairman, I want to remind you that, of course, training is one, but make sure you have a role for the locals, subcontractors, vendors, whatever agents, not commission agents. I mean, to work. Because it's an important green industry. It's a model for sustainable development. And yet again, what is the theme of ASEAN this year for Malaysia? Inclusivity, as I've covered, get everybody together, and sustainability. And this project, green project, covers that sustainability. So, or should become a showcase as a model of sustainable development. So, again, this is something very exciting for me to support, and I must commend your efforts. Work together, discuss, argue, make demands which are reasonable, accommodate one another based on trust, and build this country together. I mean, the same as Petronas is working here. We have resolved a very, difficult, controversial issue with Sarawak, Petronas. Petrol. It's a win-win solution. Some people say, oh, no. They gain nothing. They gain only in the shouting, using all these technical arguments to show that they are the champion of the Sabah. When they are given the power, they are entrusted with power, they gain only timber and concessions and money. But when they are out of power, talking about politics, they talk about the people. You judge people from the action, not mere promises. So I believe that Sabahan should be mature enough to understand that Sabah has to be competitive, focus on the economy. Sabah must focus all its resources to ensure that you do train highly skilled workers and make the necessary adjustments that we look forward. You see, I speak with passion because I believe in it. Whatever is being said, politically, we continue to have problems, we have differences, it doesn't matter. Every action is being good. This morning, I explained about the so-called video which is circulating. I've explained that. And now I'm saying, anything you do, they come, they say, well, Anwar is only talking about the interests of Semenanjung, not Sabah. What else do you want us to do? Engage with us. Work as a team. The federation will only work if we are able to work with all the states, including Sabah and Sarawak. Sabah can only succeed if you work and collaborate closely, engage and benefit from your engagement with the federal government. We don't want to win just by exhortations. or pious platitudes. We win through good engagement and getting things done. I mentioned to the chairman that we have not approved. There's a moratorium. No more steel industry being approved. But why do we approve for Sabah? Is it because it's no? Because number one is green. Number two is there's a capacity. Demand for Sabah, Sarawak, Kalimantan, and their capacity as a big, giant steel company to be able to export. So some company in Semenanjung would say, well, Anwar is discriminating against Malaya and favoring Sabah. This sort of narrative and political gimmick will continue. But we decide what is best for the country. We decide what is best, which means no more new steel licenses in Semenanjung. We decide, yes, there should be one in Sabah. And that's how we govern this country. So, thank you again. I don't know what Ajiji gave me last night. I get very spirited coming to Sabah. I think there's a special, the norm kopi, whatever. Jadi, thank you again. Collaboration. Petronas, for example, is giving full focus on the skills, petroleum, Petronas Petroleum Skills Institute in Kemani, for example. Give the support, because that would be in synergy with what's the requirement, although that is mainly on the oil and gas sector. So, thank you, Ketua Menteri Ajiji. Thank you, Chairman. And thank you to the state for working together. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.